Hey man, I gotta give it up to Tua because he showed growth here on Sunday versus the Ravens. This team was down, as you know, 14-35 in the fourth quarter, and Tua led them back by throwing 4 touchdowns over a Ravens secondary that we all know is pretty good. Tua just absolutely exposed them, and with Jaylen Waddle and Tyreek Hill's help, they came back. Tua threw 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter, and they won the game. It was an improbable comeback, people. And what that proved to me was that, look, Tua showed growth in this game. He's had his clutch moments before. He has that it factor at times in him. He's never come back like this. And I think this game showed us that you can have some faith in him if you need to go win a shootout. If you need to get into a shootout this year, having Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle go off like they did versus the Ravens, and having Mike Gesicki make plays, having Cedric Wilson back there, having the galore running backs that they do, I think it helps Tua be able to accomplish what the Dolphins want him to accomplish in the clutch. And I think with just Tua improving and also what he has around him, he showed us that you can have some confidence in him when you need to get into a shootout. So look, I don't want to hear any more Tua slander of he can't come back in the clutch or he doesn't have the it factor, because he's shown it to us before and he showed it again here versus the Ravens, people. And look, man, I know you don't want Tua throwing 2 interceptions. You want him to cut down on those turnovers. He threw 2 interceptions in this game versus the Ravens, but I will give him the benefit of the doubt here. It's not about how you start, it's how you finish. We've seen elite quarterbacks in this game. I'm by no means telling you guys that Tua is an elite quarterback. I'm just saying we've seen good quarterbacks before start games off by throwing 1 or 2 interceptions. We've seen it with Josh Allen before. We've seen it with Mahomes and Rodgers before. We've seen it with some elite quarterbacks before, and we've seen it with some good quarterbacks before. But sometimes they're so good that you finish out the game, they're clutch. You just can't get over how clutch they were. It's not about how they started, it's how they finished. Tua is by no means an elite quarterback. He's not a top 10 quarterback, but you do have to give him a benefit of the doubt here. His good outweighed his bad, and that ended up winning his team the game because his good was just that good. And not only did it overshadow the bad, it was just so good that it was enough to come back 14-35 in the fourth quarter, and you have to applaud him for that. So everyone, look, while we want Tua to cut down on those turnovers, look, you got to give him some credit here. He showed some growth here. He's giving you hope that when you're in these situations where you may have to get into shootouts, especially with these teams and quarterbacks in the AFC, Tua in this game, he gave you some hope that he can do it sometimes, or maybe all the time. I'm not saying it's going to be all the time, but he gave you hope that sometimes you can trust him to get into a shootout with teams when you need him to, especially with Jaylen Waddle and Tyreek Hill and Mike Gesicki. And look, I just think he showed us a lot of growth versus the Ravens, and I only expect him to keep climbing up the ladder. And I also got to give a lot of credit to Tyreek Hill because he looks like he is contributing to Tua Tagovailoa's development. I got to give credit to Jaylen Waddle. Mike Gesicki made some plays in this game. I liked how that offensive line performed at the end of the game. I love how this whole offense performed on third down. This offense looked good versus a pretty good Ravens defense, and they came back when it mattered most. They're good outweighed their bad, and they had a lot of bad things go on at the start of that game, people. I'm really proud of this team, really proud of Tua, people, and I can't wait to see what the Dolphins do here in the future, people. Other than that, this has been Malik Hicks, aka the Ranker of the Ultimate Sports TV, signing off. Peace out, and I'll see you on the other side.